What lines need to be crossed? Story 1. She asks the wrong questions or the right questions in the wrong way. She is obsessed with brand labels, status, and what other people have. Her job and background do not match her lifestyle. Story 2. She requests that you buy her things. She asks questions about your finances. She never pays for anything, and if you do let her pay for something, she will probably just stop seeing you or get really upset for a while. Story 3. When her number one priority is how much a man is willing and able to spend on her, there's nothing wrong with that, as long as the man is aware that's the exchange, in my humble opinion. When someone convinces the richer party they love them when they really love the money, that's unethical. If some rich guy is okay with having a hot young partner who just wants his money, who am I to judge? Story 4. Always ask her to choose the first date. If she picks one of the two most expensive restaurants in your city and she isn't in the upper income bracket herself, ghost her immediately. You are dealing with a gold digger. Thank me later. Story 5. Sometimes it's obvious. Other times you won't know until you're married and it's too late. Case 1 asterisk she asks, will you be my sugar daddy? Case 2 asterisk wonderful girlfriend. Seems just perfect but came from a family without money. You get engaged, everything seems perfect, then married. Suddenly, she is no longer interested in sex but is happy to keep spending the money you earn or looks for ways to divorce you and take half. The behaviors and attitudes will shift towards you quickly, but the love of and addiction to transferring money from your bank account to hers and using your credit cards will increase inversely proportional to the decrease in sexual attention given and such. Story 6. When the way she treats you is proportionate to her getting what she wants. If she can't handle not getting what she wants and all of a sudden starts disrespecting you, that woman is not for you. Story 7. If her number one concern is your job and how much money you make, if you proceed from there, then you get no sympathy from me. The girl isn't looking for a boyfriend. She's looking for a wallet or safety net. Story 8. Here's what you do depending on how long you have been talking. Create a narrative. If you have only been talking a short while, try to get her to pay for small things. Make her pay for food at a restaurant once or twice, or have her bring you some food or pay for some liquor or something. If you have been talking for a while, you make something up like a medical bill or you helped out a family member with financial troubles and you need to hold a few dollars to get through the month. Most of the time, if she likes you, she will do these things. Story 9. When she has huge cyanidation vats sitting in her backyard, and she gets more excited by a copper anode than a copper cathode. You know she digs gold. Jokes aside, someone who digs gold figuratively will be looking to extract as much as possible from someone else. Their relationship with you is purely a positive-sum situation for themselves, unlike other kinds of abuse where transactional reciprocation is expected in order to guilt the victim into doing things they would otherwise not do. Story 10. There are tells. She has lots of designer clothing but works a job that doesn't make lots of money. The whole hairdresser with a Prada handbag, Balenciaga dress, and a pair of Louboutins. She is either getting those bought for her by someone else, or she is drowning in credit card debt and looking for a bailout. She expects you to pay for everything and hates cheap dates. You have to take her to that hot new restaurant or on a trip abroad. Coffee and a walk in the park are beneath her. Gift giving is her love language and she never gives gifts. She always needs help with her rent and groceries. If you ever mention quitting your high-paying job for something lower-paying and less stressful, she will look at you like you have 3 heads and tell you to stop being ridiculous. A normal person might be concerned but will at least hear you out. Also, a bit of advice. If you're in your 40s or 50s and that hot young lady who just graduated college seems super into you, ask yourself whether it is your receding hairline and beer belly she likes, or what she thinks is in your wallet. Story 11. If she is shallow, materialistic, and expects to be provided for, words and small gestures since the first date already tell enough. It's even easier now that women don't even bother hiding their motivations. Story 12. What people are describing in the comments are things that just make someone an asshole, not a gold digger. Trust me, unless you are a millionaire, you do not have to worry about gold diggers. Gold diggers are much smarter than to go after a dude who makes $60,000. Laugh out loud. Story 13. It's important to approach this question with sensitivity and avoid jumping to conclusions. Look for signs that might indicate someone is more focused on financial gain than on genuine connection, such as excessive interest in your wealth or lifestyle, or frequent discussions about money. However, it is crucial to remember that financial concerns are a normal part of relationships. The best approach is open and honest communication about expectations and values. Building a relationship on mutual respect and understanding will help ensure that both partners are aligned and interested in each other for the right reasons. Avoid making assumptions based solely on initial impressions, and focus on the overall character and compatibility of the person. Story 14, that's easy. Always have the money to do anything, but tell her frequently that you can't afford nicer things or to eat out. Eat ramen in front of her and constantly look for deals on things. Her reaction will tell you everything. Story 15. The best way to test this out is that often women offer to pay, but since men are naive, they say, "No, I've got this." If you allow her to pay and she is still with you afterward, she isn't a gold digger. Story 16:1. She is materialistic and superficial. She does nothing for you outside maybe unenthusiastic sex, if that. She never gives you any kind of attention or energy unless it is in regard to something she will benefit from. Story 17. Determining if someone is a gold digger involves looking at their behavior and values, but it is important to avoid making assumptions based on superficial signs alone. Some indicators might include a disproportionate focus on your financial situation, constant discussions about money, or a lack of interest in your personal life and emotions. However, it is crucial to approach this with empathy and communication. Open and honest conversations about financial expectations and relationship goals can provide clarity. Building a relationship on mutual respect and understanding, rather than assumptions or stereotypes, is key to ensuring both partners are genuinely invested in each other for the right reasons. Story 18. Ask her what she is looking for. You can figure out the rest based on where the conversation is headed. If she frequently asks about your job, at some point she will ask how much you earn and what your salary is. You can safely say she is a gold digger. Women tend to be very manipulative at best. If a woman talks to you out of the blue personally, it is because they always want something or want to get information from you. So, no matter how nice of a facade she puts out, always be on guard about the real reason she is talking to you. The most difficult thing in this type of situation or scenario is to remain calm and polite. Story 19. Shannon Sharp had a great little test that he ran on a girl. As she was leaving the hotel, he gave her $20 to tip the valet. Then he checked the bill and saw that she charged the valet tip to the room. Good test. Story 20. This will probably be hidden, but you probably need to clarify your terms. A gold digger is a person who uses romantic relationships explicitly for financial gain. If a bigger fish comes along, they are going after it. It's a financial transaction. And then you have people who just may not be financially compatible with you. We had a thread on here a while back where a lot of guys said they don't want a woman who earns a lot of money and pays for herself or goes 50-50. They prefer a poor girl, even if that means they have to financially support her the rest of her life. So, not all financially dependent partners are necessarily gold diggers. They might just be financially dependent. So are you avoiding someone who is just using you for your money and will pass on to the next bigger or better fish? Or are you trying to completely avoid financially dependent partners? Not gold diggers, just poor and will always need financial support. That is an important clarification. Story 21. You're looking at intent when you should just be looking at odds. Does she have a job? Does she have skills? Does she spend more than she makes? Does she have a pickaxe and a beard? Story 22. Depends on how you define a gold digger. I have a threshold for how much I'm prepared to spend on someone, and if they continuously make me uncomfortable with requests to spend more, then I let them know my boundary. If they don't like it, they can take a hike. I suppose you could make her pay for things sometimes. Hey, hun, I've gotten the last 3 dates. How about you treat me sometime? Story 23. Care about what she does for a living or plans to do. Just like with men, it's fine if they don't have money right now as long as they're actively working towards a goal. You don't need to be rich, just self-sufficient. Don't establish a dynamic where you're constantly buying her things. Want to impress her? Buy her little things she loves. Take her on an adventure. Help her with unpleasant tasks. For instance, go with her to a doctor's appointment, drive with her to pick up that relative from the airport, help her watch her nieces and nephews for the day. Talk about money, both yours and hers. Discuss your attitude towards money, financial plans. Make sure you're on the same page regarding work, savings, debt, and so on. Story 24. The answer I always give is, do you feel like you adopted a child or acquired a partner? They function like a 10-year-old. They can do things, but they don't want to. They have lots of wants and needs. Given the choice, they will run with more desired, more popular options with no regard to practicality or budget concerns. There is always a huge imbalance in cost versus effort from them. They claim to want a traditional provider but offer little in return. There are plenty who do apply significant effort but then have expectations far beyond any meaningful budget. The best house spouse in the world isn't worth 105% of your income every month. Story 25. What do you do for a living? How much do you make? Or the one where I laugh my ass off, you must make X. These aren't by women who I am dating but ones who I work with who assume I make 3 to 4 times what I make. Any woman who demands a committed relationship off the bat is on the gold digger spectrum. Story 26. More than 4 previous marriages, never has enough money unless to spend on something she wants, lots of bling, always wears the top styles, wants a prenuptial agreement and life insurance in place and pushes you to spend beyond your means to support her, work more if you cannot. Story 27. There's a few ways I found work pretty well. 1. What state is her pickaxe in? 2. New and maybe she's thought about it but never fully committed. 2. Worn down and you know she's given up on her dreams. Ask her, what's in them their hills? This should be pretty self-explanatory. What's her favorite National Football League team? If she's not from San Francisco but says the 49ers, you're probably dealing with a digger. Leave a pile of pinchbeck out. See how she reacts. Ask her what's in the case from the movie Pulp Fiction. Honestly, there are other ways. If she's spending an extraordinary amount of time in the Australian outback, or if she wears nothing but denim overalls, there's not one singular way to tell. Story 28. Optimizing the transfer of resources from men is literally fundamental to the female experience. It's not so much a problem of if, it's a problem of degree. Story 29. When she comes on a date with a shovel. Seriously, though, if she insists on meeting somewhere classier than what you had intended, orders the most expensive thing on the menu, and doesn't make any offer to pay her share, it's a pretty good sign. Story 31. Get an older but stylish lady to play the part of acting as your mother. Have them meet in private like a cafe. Ask your fake mother to prepare and keep 3 envelopes of fake money. Should look real, though, or a fake check. Your fake mother now says, take this and leave my son. I'm not giving him any inheritance anyway. And slides the first envelope. The other 2 exist to tempt her even more. Your fake mother can give you the details later, or you can watch through the camera sitting in her purse. Story 31. First, determine if you yourself have any gold to dig. The number of men accusing women of being gold diggers when they have nothing is surprising. Second, determine if she is just hypergamous like women are biologically programmed to be, in order to search for the best provider for her offspring. Women are vulnerable while pregnant, while giving birth, and for a year after birth. No woman wants to have to go straight back to work to have her child raised by daycare workers. I've never personally met women like this, but I've heard stories of women who will ask you for money to get their nails done and get their hair done. They expect you to shell out money to them just to date them. Those women are on the take, and there's another word for them. Story 32. That's so low on my list of criteria for a potential partner. Like, do we actually get along and have things in common? Are we sexually compatible? When it comes to money, I'm thinking about general responsibility well before the idea of a gold digger even crosses my mind. That this is even being asked has me shaking my head, as it's just another example of how much the men's rights mindset has spread its nonsense to get people to just assume awful things about women. Story 33. An excessive amount of interest in my net worth usually includes some form of evaluation or criticism of any personal display of material wealth, especially criticism of why I am not displaying my wealth better, such as having a mid-1980s Volkswagen Jetta, and an attempt to get me to pay for things such as gifts and vacations for her and sometimes even her friends and family to benefit from, none of which is reciprocated in any real fashion. Story 34. It's all about power and prestige, personal prestige. 1. Does she want things, and every time you get one of these for her, the next expectation is for one that is more valuable? Does she like to think she is better than other women, showing off to those women? Using transferred prestige from your money, cross either of those lines, and her focus is on achieving through who she sleeps with. Be it money or prestige, she is gold digging. Your assets and status are more important than you,